So I already made a book. I made a video like 10 seconds ago. I'm gonna make it again because that letter is really short. I'm gonna put a song on, but the thing is, I want to do one that's gonna do this book justice. And I did have Fix You on here, and I've seen a video on YouTube. There's someone doing like a montage of Poets being a Wallflower film to Fix You, and it's really good. But oh, this one, okay. It's Passenger and Ed Sheeran. It's called Hearts on Fire. I'm gonna turn it down. I will surely find another. I don't know if this will be too loud. Don't know if it will be too quiet. Don't know if it will ruin it. But if you never try, you never know. By the way, does everyone appreciate my appearance? You know, I mean, I've tried so hard to be nice to you guys. I really hope no one I know sees these. Oh dear. Okay. Dear friend, I have finished To Kill a Mockingbird, which is now my favourite book of all time. But then again, I always think that until I read another book. My advanced English teacher asked me to call him Bill when we're not in class, and he gave me another book to read. He says, shall I do an American accent? He says that I have a great skill of reading and understanding language. Understanding language. And he wanted me to write an essay about To Kill a Mockingbird. I mentioned this to my mum, and she asked why Bill didn't recommend that I just take a sophomore or a junior English class. But then I told her that Bill said that these books were basically the same classes. I told her that Bill said these were basically the same classes with more complicated books and that it wouldn't help me. My mum said that she wasn't sure and would talk to him during the open house. Then she asked me to help her by washing the dishes, which I did. Honestly, I don't like washing the dishes. I like eating with my fingers and off napkins, but my sister says that is bad for the environment. She's a part of the Earth Day Club here in high school, and that is where she meets the boys. They are all very nice to her, and I don't really understand why, except maybe the fact that she's pretty. She's really mean to these boys. One boy has it particularly hard. I won't tell you his name, but I will tell you all about him. He has very nice brown hair, and he wears it long with a ponytail. I think he will regret this when he looks back on his life. He is always making mistakes for my sister, with very specific themes. One was called Autumn Leaves. That's an Ed Sheeran song. He included many songs by the Smiths. He even hand-coloured the cover. After the movie he rented was over, he left. My sister gave me the tape. Do you want this, Charlie? I took the tape. I felt a bit weird about it because he had made it for her. But I listened to it, and I loved it very much. There is this one song called Asleep. I could have put that song on. It's on my iPod as well. That I would like you to listen to. I told my sister about it, and a week later she thanked me because when this boy asked her about the tape, she said exactly what I said about the song. Asleep. And this boy was very moved about how much it meant to her. I hope this means I will be good at dating when the time comes. I should stick to the subject though. That is what the teacher Bill tells me to do, because I write in kind of the way I talk. I think he wants me to write an essay about To Kill a Mockingbird. This boy who likes my sister is always respectful to my parents. My mum likes him very much because of this. My dad thinks he's soft. I think that's what my sister does, what she does to him. So I think that's why my sister does what she does to him. This one night, she was saying very mean things about how he didn't stand up to a class bully when he was 15 or something like that. To tell you the truth, I was just watching the movie he rented, so I wasn't paying very close attention to their fight. They fight all the time, so I figured that the movie was at least something different. Which It wasn't, because it was a sequel. Anyway, after she learned about him, leaned him into him for about 4 movie scenes, which is, I guess, about 10 minutes or so. He started crying very hard. Then I turned round and my sister pointed at me. You see? Even Charlie stood up to his bully. You see? And this guy got really red-faced. He looked at me, then looked at her, and he wound up and hit her hard across the face. I mean, hard. I just froze because I couldn't believe he did it. It was not like him at all to hit anybody. He was the boy that made mixtapes with themes and hand-coloured covers until he hit my sister and stopped crying. The weird part is that my sister didn't do anything. She just looked at him very quietly. It was so weird. My sister goes all crazy if you eat the wrong kind of tuna. But here was this guy hitting her, and she didn't do anything or say anything. She just got soft and nice. And she asked me to leave, which I did. After the boy had left, she said that they were going out and not to tell Mum and Dad what happened. I guess he stood up to a bully, which makes that sense. And I guess that makes sense, though. That weekend, I can't focus. Okay. That weekend, my sister spent a lot of time with this boy, and they laughed a lot more than they usually did. On Friday night, I was reading my new book, but my brain got tired, so I decided to watch some television instead. I opened the door to my basement, and my sister and this boy were naked. Stop. He was on top of her, and her legs were draped over the side of the couch. She screamed at me in a whisper, "Get out, you pervert." So I left. The next day, we all watched my brother play football. My sister invited this boy over again. I'm not sure when he left the previous night. They held hands and acted like everything was happy. And this boy said something about how the football team hasn't been the same since the year my brother graduated. My dad thanked him. When the boy left, my dad said that this boy was becoming a fine man who could carry himself. My mum was quiet, and my sister looked over to me to make sure I wouldn't say anything. And that was that. Yes, he is. That's all my sister could say. I could see this boy at home doing his homework and thinking about my sister naked. And I could see them holding hands at football games they did not watch. And I could see this boy throwing up in bushes at a house party. And I could see my sister putting up with it. I felt very bad for both of them. Love always, Charlie.